I'm assuming like a big part of me, yeah, I was gonna say they're gonna try and power cascade and potentially another power cascade. She still doesn't live. Yeah. I thought you might do this, and that's the reason we didn't play the Trapper. Hello everyone, Gomez here from the LAN Up channel with another deck for you today. This one is actually using LeBlanc and using her with Ashe. So let's get into this. So the deck is called Cold Copies. We're actually taking like basically what was the old Ashe Sejuani deck. We're taking like that kind of feel, but we're taking it with LeBlanc. Now the reason that we're doing that is because number one, we've got all the frostbites going in anyway, which means that, like, you know, we want to be attacking forward. Like, you know, knowing that we're keeping most of our stuff safe with those big stat lines like 5 damage, and because of that, because that deck, I don't know if people remember, that deck used to run like the Yeti package, which is some Yetis with obviously Glory Seeker. So that's 5 damages already that are coming in off of the token card Yeti, as well as the fact the Glory Seeker. So we're kind of working that into the reputation stuff which is going on, and as well LeBlanc is a nice little hitting down for free quick attack and putting the pressure on people, as well as the fact that obviously then Ashe comes down as a 5 attack as well. So we're really quickly, like, potentially get into reputation, as well as the fact that with all the frostbites that we're running, leveling Ashe up and just like trying to stop any form of counterplay. I've actually gone with, because obviously the old deck used to run a lot of assessors, because obviously it made sense, because you had the Yetis on the board, you had Ashe on the board, you had Sejuani on the board, you had all these things that had like 5 damage, and so therefore it made sense. I've actually only put 1 assessor. The reason for that is because of the new card that's come from I was going to say Nautilus. I was going to say, what the hell am I talking about? Which is the new card which has come from Noxus. It actually, right, so I'll explain my reasonings for why this is. I decided to go with Whispered Words over Assessor because Assessor is board dependent. She depends on having those 5 cost things on the board, and then she can draw from that fact. And sometimes your opponent, obviously, if they see that, they can see, okay, right, they're going to play Assessor, so I want to be trying to cut down my opponent's options by Frostbites, or from just removing those things, 5 attacks in general. So Whispered Word, even though it's not attached to a unit, is at least okay. I'm at least drawing 2, and you should be getting reputation very quickly in this deck, hopefully. So this would go down to costing 2 rather than 4, and it's guaranteed draw, whereas not necessarily you get guaranteed draw from Assessor. I've still got 1 in there for the hope that, like, you know, if you're in a good situation whereby the board is in a good way for it, that you can drop this. But I decided Whispered Word is just a better, like, knowing I'm going to be drawing things is why I decided to myself. Reckoning as well is such a good removal tool, and it works really well in this deck, right? Because obviously with which got a lot of 5 attack stuff in there, just Reckoning, potentially just wiping your opponent's side of the board and going forward with all these 5 attack units, as well as the fact that obviously if we can level LeBlanc, one thing I will say is that they definitely need to change her, and by change her I mean I like what she does. I've actually got no issue with what she does. My problem is that once you level her, she doesn't immediately get her spell. You have to do an additional, so you've got to do 30 damage with her staying on the board for you to be able to get that mirror image. And personally, I just think that when she initially flips, she should give you just 1, but that is just my opinion on that. That would just make her so much more, because it feels kind of bad playing her sometimes, because you level her, but then it's like, crap, now I've got to do another 15 damage, which, to be fair, in this deck shouldn't be too hard. But I just think that's just something that LeBlanc just needs. I think that there's been a lot of people in the population, or in the community, who've been thinking that's what she needs. I think that holds her back a little bit, the fact that she just doesn't immediately get. Another thing for those, obviously, we're running Culling Strike, which means that we can freeze things down and then Culling Strike them, which obviously is a really powerful removal thing as well. These Yetis can be removed. I put them in there more for the sake of banter and knowing that I get potentially more Yetis, but technically they could be taken out, as well as the fact that you could take out these and put back in the Assessors, or you could even take out Bloody Business. I put Bloody Business in yet again as a counter move, as well as the fact that it should help towards Reputation, because Reputation is all about striking with 5 damage. So I put this in there to kind of help with that and mimic it again as well. I kind of had this to if I needed to copy more frost spells or if I needed to copy like another, like just another culling strike or something. I kept mimic in there for that reason, but it's up to you guys, right? So anyway, these are my thoughts on this idea of a deck, but please let me know what you think down in the comment section down below, as well as the fact that obviously, if you didn't know already, shameless plug time, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. So I stream on Twitch on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So you want to come catch the action live, please feel free to, as well as the fact that obviously there's a Discord link down below, and there's been a lot of people who have been getting in there, talking deck concepts, having like discussions about, oh, well, what do you think about this one? And honestly, it's amazing that that's happening. I want to be fostering that, and I want to be fostering that community of us working together and building decks together, because that's what this channel is basically all about. And also, there is a movie night and a games night that's in that Discord. So if you want to get involved, that movie night should be this Saturday coming. So if you want to get involved with that, please feel free to. But honestly, just thank you all so much. I've got my end of year goal of hitting 5,000 followers/subscribers on YouTube and Twitch. I'm nearly halfway there on YouTube. We've still got a way to go on Twitch, but honestly, I think I can do it. I think we can do it. We can get together and we can make this happen. But honestly, thanks so much for watching so far. I hope you enjoyed the games, because literally I've not actually played this deck at all, so the games you're going to be seeing are going to be my test games. Let's see how it goes. Anyway, let's do this. Oh, Moonman! And old Richard and old Lee. Let's see how this goes. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a little bit rusty since I've been against these two, so we'll see how we do. Okay, it's okay actually. I'll go with you. I've got draw, the ability to get which is to freeze, and like, 'cause obviously freezing works quite well against Lee. Sadly, freezing doesn't work as good as it used to against Lee. Does anyone remember the days where you could freeze Lee and he wouldn't actually do his kick anymore? I think part of me is like, do I want to save the mana? Because I guess technically what I should be doing is saving the mana. But I'm just gonna go, trying to go aggressive on them, trying to force them. I mean, they want to be keeping that, they want to be keeping that lifesteal option to them, and I can understand it completely. Much of me's like, save the mana so that I can go into the Ashe turn next turn and have that mana for flash freeze. I don't think there's going to be many things I'm going to need to make sure about, because obviously she will be freezing. She will be freezing turn. I could, oh, actually no. We throw Sentry against, so if they went forward with the goat, we'd just be throwing Sentry out anyway. So I could have thrown out the Trapper to give myself that 5+, but honestly, I would prefer to keep my options open, just to throw Ashe out, and then just in case, because we know for a fact that they have the Lee Sin spell, which gives +2. We know for a fact that, but you know, challenge them +2. We know for a fact they run Power Cascade. We know all these things, and so I'd rather have that, knowing I can go forward with Ashe and not be afraid, rather than playing that and knowing that I have a chance of 5/5 coming up in the top 3 cards. I can wait to play this. I can wait to play it. So we immediately go forward with everything.
Show me a target.
Immediately go forward with everything. Obviously, like, you know, they could still sacrifice that and get themselves the gems to be helping Lee along, but it's okay. It's okay. So we've got the freeze, so that if they do try to do like a few spells and buff the... Yeah, that's fine. I'm assuming they... like, a big part of me... Like, yeah, I was going to say, they're going to try and Power Cascade and potentially another Power Cascade. She still doesn't live? Yeah. I thought you might do this, and that's the reason we didn't play the Trapper. So, that's what we do right there. We kept our option open just to make sure that we could cover Ashe, and I honestly feel really good about it right now. as you can imagine, I feel really good about it right now. So I could even flash freeze again. Like, basically what I mean is that when they do their attack forward and buff the goat, we know that they've already used 2 of their Power Cascades right now, so the chances of them being able, I mean, obviously Hush and moves like that, we don't play anything because I want to be keeping this option open. So floating crystals, we want to be getting a bit of draw going on. Technically we could actually leave this so that they don't get the gems to be helping Lee out right now, because obviously the gems are a very big part of their move strategy, but I don't mind doing this. It's denying them draw. It's denying them draw as well, but while giving myself a little bit of draw, which, let's face it, I desperately need right now. So I'd rather do that, as well as the fact that technically, like, you know, we could just go for an immediate open next turn, right, with a lot of damage.
Knocked and ready.
I'm just going to go forward next turn with a lot of damage. I feel like that is the superior move because she would actually level from this as well. So giving her the ability to attack forward and level, still going to be getting that down, and we're going forward with more units. So I'm fine with that. I could even throw down a Harsh Winds, like, because I should be at the mana right now. Obviously, we're not presenting lethal. Because we're not presenting lethal, I'm a little bit hesitant about using that. I could still technically throw down, getting rid of that.
A chill in the air.
Chill in the air, level Ashe, and then going forward means that we're stopping that. Obviously, our opponent does run Hush, so they could actually hush their own unit right now, right? So they could hush their own unit. That is definitely a move our opponent could do. But we're going to go wide on the board anyway. So I'm going to convince myself that everything's going to be fine by knowing I can go wide on the board. I said hush, they can hush their own unit, but it's absolutely fine because we're going to be, I mean, they've left it so that option is not a thing. So we're just going to go wide. Just going to go wide. So we're going to be hushing the goat, or so we're going to be throwing the damage into the goat. They could throw Lee, but I doubt that they're going to throw Lee on top of Ashe because that'd just kill him straight up, right? And as I said, we've got Hush, we've got the ability to just remove his damage anyway, so that's perfectly fine. So we're taking them down a lot. Reputation, we're nearly there. We could even throw out a draw mechanic, but we know that we're going to be getting that Yeti now. Yep, just on cue. Lee's actually years away from his level up as well. The combination of the fact that Lee's actually many moons away from his level up means that, like, we're actually fine here. We need to keep the option for this just in case our opponent tries to go for well, I mean, let's face this. Our opponent is going to go for trying to grab her, so bury him up and grab to kill Ashe. So we massively need that Harsh Winds just to remove that threat, as well as the fact that obviously we can stop them from getting a gem from Goat. This is perfectly fine. Everything is going somewhat okay right now. Obviously, they could find the stun. The stun would be quite good for them because it means that I can't defend as many places.
Oh yeah,
but
that's a pretty sparkle fly.
It's absolutely fine. So they got rid of it. I mean, to be fair, Deny is useless against us because obviously we are running so much burst speed that Deny is actually like pointless against us. So I can understand why they've done that. We haven't even got to see LeBlanc going on right now. Like, the whole idea is to make copies of Ashe so we have 2 Ashes on the board and can go forward, but it's not even been needed. There's the Veiled Temple. Yeah, again, not really doing too much for my opponent right now. Do they go forward here? I guess they could have denied the Ice Arrow. Like, they had the option to keep back the ability to stop the Ice Arrow, so that is something that they chose to remove the deny for, and they don't even want to risk Lee at the moment. They don't even want to risk him. We know for a fact that we've got this going on. I could even technically, the comedy of the fact that I can mimic this spell and play that one and still keep one in hand, actually is another really good thing with Mimic, right, is the fact that we have the ability to use that multiple times. So this one gets denied. We already know they've burnt a deny, and so although the smarter plan would be the Harsh Winds, they can't use, I mean, they could have a Notify, right?
Enemies would be foolish.
They could have a Notify, but I'm gonna do, I mean, the smarter plan would be the Harsh Winds. Right, a shadow of doubt, the smarter plan is throw down Harsh Winds right now. So I am going off. I mean, yeah, I'm going. Whoa! Do it so that it means that they don't all get they don't all can't block, but we can still go forward and basically force them to do a lot of trades. Which does work for me, as well as the fact that obviously, like, we still do get to keep that burst speed Harsh Winds back to counter, to be able to counter their Lee, basically. In terms of the fact that if he does go for trying to kick, then we just go, haha! So she stays alive. She still gets kicked back into my hand, but she stays alive. We're forcing our opponent down to 1. Forcing our opponent down to 1 as well. I mean, that's why, yeah, they basically, at this point, have to block everywhere. We've not even seen Moonman! Okay, so we do that. It's absolutely fine. I've got 2 burst speed freezes, one that can definitely hit our big man here, so I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine. As far as the fact that we've even got a strike capability, so that, I mean, obviously he's going to be doing his kick, let's face it, so the strike capability is actually pointless. Okay, I mean, just in case they've not got another really quick spell right now, I guess we go with trying to remove him. Because why the hell not right now, right? We know that they've used 2 deny, or like that we've seen 2 denies. They've only got 1 card in hand. If that's a slow speed spell, it could be, I said, burst speed. Obviously, if it is burst speed. Sadly, it was also a draw spell, which is not what I needed to see. But okay then. Okay. I mean, of course, because that's slow speed, he doesn't get his barrier. It worked perfectly. It worked perfectly. Yes, because it happened. Oh, so boom, he would die. And yeah, so that worked out in the end. Okay, so gameplay. So I've actually seen the idea of this before. It's actually like it's a nice idea, right? Bilgewater's got a lot of summon effects, so that works towards the Azir, or the Azir, sorry. So actually works really well. I'm actually gonna keep cutting strike because obviously it's a good counter for him. Gonna keep the rest of this hand. Got my ability to draw. Got my ability to get a 5/5, and I got LeBlanc. So everything is working okay. Every little thing is gonna be all right. He says. Oh. Okay, so. We can throw out the sentry at least, if nothing else. I mean, I always prefer the prepare for trouble. Oh, it's making double, but it's okay. At least that's just a straight up trade-off. Straight up trade-off. Could actually throw LeBlanc out right now as well. So just immediately throwing LeBlanc out next turn. I've still got the ability to defend her in many different ways. So it's absolutely fine. That worked out perfect. That worked out perfectly for them, right? In terms of the fact that out of all the cards they got the card that was the deal damage even if it gets countered move. So really well played from our opponent. So gotta go forward here. It's fine. Trades off perfectly well. Still got these freezes and actually still have a bloody business and actually culling strikes right now. So a number of different counters depend on whatever the hell they throw down. So it's actually okay. So immediately go like this. See what they do. See what they do to this fact. I mean, I was honestly considering the culling strike as well, but I was like, we'll wait and see what they play. Because I'd rather get this in there so that I know that the Yeti is coming. Obviously, boom, I know that they're playing Jagged Taskmaster, so obviously maybe the idea should have been remove that before the problems, because let's face it, the problems are becoming bigger and bigger, and giving the Plunder Pro spell shield and lifesteal is actually quite devastating. So we're just gonna go forward. We haven't got any units that we can play right now, so immediately go forward. We've got the ability to freeze this one, so that at least that's less of a problem. And that is also the level up on top of LeBlanc as well, which is very nice to see. So just yet again, keeping my options open, getting the level up here. So that's nice. I am everywhere. My voice, I definitely did like I need some like frozen screens so I can feel my. I mean, it's because I've been recording so much and doing this like it takes it out of me. So actually, like we've got a number of different options here, right? So sorry. We've got a number of different options here, right? We can culling strike, or we can use bloody business. I'm actually going to use bloody business because I want to help her towards her level up again, so we can get that mirror image. Just want to use this. Try to force. So there's the Azir down. Obviously, the Daya still comes out though, which is meaning that they're still getting that stat, and they're buffed up, right? They are buffed up because of the Jagged Taskmasters. But at least we've got this. At least we've got this draw for cheaper. Keeps coming back at me. Keeps coming back at me. We can at least play the Yeti. So we've got a freeze, we've got Yetis, we've got a lot of that, and of course it would be the elusive one. Why wouldn't it be the elusive one at this point? Really, I'm loving what my opponent is doing. Like I'm really loving like this whole thing that's going on for them. I'm surprised. Oh yeah, because obviously, don't worry, I'm talking box. So trying this out. So obviously they still want to keep some stuff back because they want to keep stuff back for defense themselves, right? Which does obviously make a lot of sense. So what we can do here is we can block, and even culling strike over here, just basically just so that we are making their options for defense less and less. Because let's face it, we've got like the nicer kind of like stat things and potentials, so I kind of actually want to be forcing that to force them to have to defend. So sadly we do lose the Yeti, which is actually a big deal. We do lose the Yeti, which is actually a big deal. I was hoping to keep hold of him, so obviously maybe I should have actually used the Trapper. And of course we see another one. So that is now just these in such a good position, right? They've got such a good position. Basically, it is looking like I'm going to have to remove this stat line from the field of play. Give myself the copy to at least make another copy of her, because let's face it, I need it. So using the copy to make another copy, using the copy to make copies, and that now means that we get a nice little attack forward. Nice little attack forward. Yet again, it's going to be forcing out some of their stuff, right? Forcing out some of their options. Still go down to 7. And we get another copy in hand. We get another mirror image in hand. So this is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I convinced myself that every little thing's going to be okay. We've got Freeze going into a Culling Strike. So if things get really bad, we have got options there. But yes, though, we have now got another mirror image in hand, so at least we can keep doing this. So it's actually quite nice. Obviously, the main purpose of this deck is to make copies of Ashe, but if those options are not available to us, we've got to go with what is available to us. So it's okay. Another Deus, so they are just going so all in on this plan. I'm actually going to get rid of this before she attacks forward and gives them another sand thing. So, and obviously the Deuses are useless without somebody attacking forward. So we need to just hope this is a spell in their hand, and a spell which doesn't do anything, because then we just can immediately go forward again. We could actually say like mirror image and then go forward again. And then we're pressing. I love what my opponent's doing, but we're gonna press against them and be like, aha! So you think you're doing this and you think you're doing that. It's okay. We'll see out things. As well as the fact, obviously, so we go for the mirror image. Go for the mirror image again. And go forward again. So we actually do have the option of removing at least one blocker. So I could still throw this in the way. Potentially removing this blocker. I mean, but I kind of want to keep it back in case they have Azir. Like, Azir would be such a good move for them right now that I'd prefer to actually keep the option back. But what we're doing right now is we are trying to force out. We are trying to force out what they would use to defense and attack forward with to make that Deus summon things. And so if that was a Azir in hand, okay, right, it was a Rise. Okay. That is very big for our opponent. That is very big for our opponent because it allows them to defend while still keeping these units that they can attack forward with that Deus next turn. So it's actually very big for our opponent. It's got a spell shield. We could actually Brittle Steel and then Culling Strike that, just so that that's a thing. We could also use Brittle Steel just to keep, so we've got more blockers. So I'm actually going to go with that. I'm going to go with the fact that I'd rather have that better statted blocker right now. But obviously, we do know that there's going to be some significant sand boys coming for me. We do know some significant sand boys coming for me. We can mirror image. It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna hope, because obviously they can immediately attack forward. Oh, that obviously with that spell shield is less appetizing, but okay. They're going for with a lot of damage. That is a significant amount of damage. Significant amount of damage right now. If they've got, actually no, a Rise doesn't mean anything now because they've committed to their attack. So I've got to just do this. I've got to do this at this point. Obviously, I'm all the way down to 1. All it would take is a parlay or warning shot from my opponent. Parlay or warning shot, and it's not looking good. It is not looking good for me, but we need to go, because obviously we need to hope right now, but obviously parlay or warning shot, it's over. We're all the way down to 1. Is it? We are. It's going to be, of course it would be, yep, and that is the GG. I mean, literally, I couldn't stop it. I had to develop, because going forward would have just meant that I would have left them on 1 health, so I had to go for it. So, Azir with Nasus, pure shurima, so expect landmark. We don't actually run any landmark removal in this deck. It's okay, though, it's okay. So, I'm actually going to keep this hand. I might end up regretting this, but I'm actually going to keep this hand. The ability to maybe actually grab Azir off this, like, forcing that 5 damage is quite nice, because obviously, like, you know, you're expecting them to turn 1 Landmark, and then turn 2 potentially Deus. They could obviously turn 1 go into the June guy, but it's okay. We're gonna Yeti first. So yeah, they go into the June guy. So we Yeti, which means that we can actually defend against this, or either of them actually, because I don't even mind trade. I don't honestly mind trading off the Yeti, knowing that I'm going to be getting those things in hand, as well as the fact that obviously we're removing their board. So Landmark or Deus might hit next turn, and we're throwing the Glory Seeker out, which is a lot of damage. So that's what we're going to go for. That's what we're going to go for. A lot of Yetis going into our deck very early on as well. So there's the Sun's Disc. We go forward. 5 damage going into my opponent immediately. It's needed. It's helping along with that reputation as well, which is very nice. So it's all good. It's all good. LeBlanc, actually, we could throw her out. Part of me was thinking go Yeti into Glory Seeker, but now LeBlanc is actually looking not too bad, right? So we could throw out the Yeti at this moment in time, actually, just so I can defend myself. But do I mind taking... maybe I don't actually mind taking that damage. Throwing that out to throw Ashe out next turn. Because if we do this, we basically... like, throwing Ashe out next turn, if my opponent's not got the counterplay at this moment in time, then this just leaves us to a potential immediately leveling LeBlanc, and then all we need to do is try to keep doing that 15 damage so that we can make more copies of Ashe going forward. And that is what the whole purpose of this deck is to use LeBlanc's ability to make more copies of Ashe than be freezing them left, right, and center. They know they have to throw something out, but the question is, whatever they throw out, the Glory Seeker could be a problem for them. So they might hold back, but then that just means that we go forward Ashe free. So okay, we live in hallowed times. It does mean that we're going to be losing Ashe. It does mean that we're going to be losing Ashe. Actually, no, it doesn't. Actually, no, it doesn't. Because if we grab this one, we can make sure that Ashe, because obviously, like, if it were the other way around, if we grab that one to kill the Frostbite one, but no, we want to be keeping our champion alive. I don't mind. I've got another Glory Seeker in hand. I don't mind about that. But keeping that so that the Ashe is still there, we've got these. That was actually a really good move. That was a really good move from my opponent. At least that's still being traded off. Really good move from my opponent there. But at least, so LeBlanc is leveled, but sadly we don't get that mirror image immediately. I do think that, like, there's no reason that, like I said, Riot should technically buffer so that you get that mirror image immediately. With how much you have to commit to get there, I just think that, like, maybe they should allow her to have that mirror image. Okay, so we throw down, we throw down you, just because that's an instant trade-off with this one. And then we can throw down the Yeti and also throw down the Glory Seeker. And that is quite a significant amount of damage. Quite a significant amount of damage when our opponent's not actually developing. So we just immediately go, well, okay, you don't want to do anything about this, so we're just going to go whoop, and grab you over here. So that should be GG. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. LeBlanc actually can be useful maybe sometimes. Good old Lee. I mean, to be fair, Lee with Payday, like, literally Payday and then going into those lucky finds, it actually is a really quick way. I'm actually going to keep his hand. Very quick way of leveling Lee, let's face it. The ability to potentially find overwhelm from Payday as well. It's like that's always the problem with Lee. Second he gets overwhelmed, it's not, and the predict to be able to basically decide what's going on. It's actually, like, yeah, I can see where the opponent's going. It's a very powerful move. I believe that Swim put out a video on it, right? Might as well throw you out.
I need just a moment.
Might as well throw you out at this point. So, gonna go forward with that 5 damage. Obviously, our opponent can throw this in the way of it, and that's fine. At least it's a trade-off. I wanted to see whether or not they were going to accept it, but they obviously don't. So, let's see how we do. Clock's gonna come forward. Got the ability of throwing LeBlanc out, but I'm gonna actually throw the Trapper out just because it means that I can defend against the clock in an okay way. The ability is here. Do we throw Ashe out or do we throw LeBlanc out? LeBlanc gives me a little bit more mana. I'm actually gonna throw LeBlanc out because LeBlanc opens the option for Reckoning. I mean, obviously, actually, Ashe still would have had the option for Reckoning, but it just feels nicer to me. It's helping her towards her level up. She has to be on the board for her level up, whereas Ashe can remain in the hand or deck. But obviously that Frostbite would have been so much more nicer.
Beware the dragon spirit.
Okay. Reckoning seems like a really good plan here. Seems like a really good plan here. Obviously, I could have thrown Ashe out and then done that, but I feel like that's the, there we go. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That is, it's not what I needed to see, but yep, it gets them past this. It gets them past this. And then, boom, there's payday. So then going directly into the overwhelms now. So actually, Ashe would have been the better move. Throwing Ashe down into potentially Frostbite actually would have been the superior move here. So these things happen. Live and learn. Live and learn. So he's already halfway towards his level up.
All the world.
Already halfway towards his level up. Okay, Sanctum. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, is the smarter move to try and Glory Seeker him off this field of play? I mean, obviously, next turn we could freeze. Next turn we could freeze him anyway, right? So he's going to be frozen from this, so we might as well try and freeze and grab him. Might as well freeze and try and grab him right now. It seems like the... Okay, right, so that's one lead down. That's not saying that all of our Lee's problems are over, because obviously they could still have Lee in hand, right? But we do have the ability to Frostbite him. So it's not over yet. Oh, there it is. Now it is all over. I was going to say, I mean, a really powerful deck. It's just that we had what we need. And Frostbite has always been Lee's biggest downfall. Okay, so Renekton with Crocodile, the brothers. I actually only found out they're brothers because of Metal Biter's video, who did a video on the shurima lore and whatnot. Because obviously I knew nothing about that. We're going to actually keep the hand. Gonna keep the hand, got a little bit of draw going on, got my Trifarian Glory Seeker, got some Frostbites, as well as the ability to get a Yeti, so I actually don't mind this hand. I might end up regretting the decision. Sun Disc is out, we don't run any, counterplay. Mr. 1X, hello there to you, I cheers to you. Gonna throw that out just to try and help reputation in case they don't have something they want to put on this field right now.
Sun's beneath me, and
I mean,
behind me.
Fair play, fair play. I just want to, like, threaten that I might have Brittle Steel. I don't have Brittle Steel, but they might have considered the fact that I might do. Apparently they don't. I can still throw the Trapper out, or I can even throw out the, this. I guess I would prefer the Trapper. I guess I would prefer... Actually, no, I mean, I'll take the draw. I was going to say that basically if Renekton ended up on the board, I'd prefer, oh, that is aggression. An aggressive stance you have there. So, okay. Significant damage, but it's okay. It's okay. Part of me's thinking, do I throw Ashe down onto the board? Do I throw Ashe down onto the board right now? Or do I throw LeBlanc? LeBlanc gives me full spell mana next turn. LeBlanc does give me full spell mana next turn. I'm willing to throw it down.
The best lies are
I'm willing to throw her down. So I could have thrown Ashe down. Ashe... I do. Maybe I should be throwing Ashe down a lot more than what I do. I have got the ability, obviously, for Reckoning, but shurima has actually got a lot of abilities. Oh, so obviously, yeah, we could have just lost Ashe then. Obviously, Culling Strike coming in clutch right now. But yeah, we could have potentially done the same thing for Ashe, I guess. Reckoning is an option, but obviously, if they throw down Renekton. We'll see how this goes. We'll see whether... Oh, the fact that we've got Culling Strike again. Right. They are deciding where the things go.
We can always rely on you
They
to
are
keep us
deciding
safe.
the state of play. I'm actually just going to pass the turn right now. Okay.
Bones will litter the desert.
So, part of me's now thinking... Throw this guy out. Means that I at least got some defense going on right now. Could have thrown Ashe down, but I wouldn't have been defending with Ashe. Oh, there's the exhaust card. Literally, they made sure I was out. They made sure I was out of the Culling Strike range, but well played to them. But they have also got not much going on in their hand right now. Or sorry, like not much looking like it's going on in their hand. Obviously, we don't know what's in their hand. I'm going to throw out the Glory Seeker first. Potentially, actually, the smarter plan would have been to play a champion. The reason for that being is because we know for a fact that they're running the cards, right, that are going to be... We know for a fact that they're running the cards which can make things vulnerable. Okay. Doing that just to remove that. Doing you to hopefully remove you. Oh, Quicksand stopping the removal there. But okay, we've still got the harsh winds in there. Our opponent is top decking. We do have a Reckoning. Reckoning becoming slightly less, and obviously the vulnerableness of the situation is quite significant as well. So throwing LeBlanc out, knowing that we could either do this or throw a Brutal Steel out. So, no time to waste. I feel that the smart move here is try to remove both of these. Obviously, they could have that +2 move to remove her, but if they don't have that card in hand, boom, I was going to say, obviously, we're just getting close to that level up, and it all goes well from there for us. So, yeah, that worked out. So that is the cold copies deck. I do apologize, like my voice, like I don't know whether or not you heard it in the recording, but I think because I'm doing too much of this and I'm doing the streams and everything like that, my voice like feels like I definitely need to take some sore throat things, and I can feel it in my throat, so I do apologise for that. I hope it didn't detract, because obviously maybe it made me slightly less energetic in points and whatnot, so I do apologise if that is the case. But thank you so much for watching. I do like this deck. I feel that it can be refined, but I do actually like the way it's running. Obviously, we didn't get to see the ability of copying Ashe. As I said, LeBlanc just needs, I think, like a big buff to LeBlanc, and obviously the reason why people don't like her is that you need to do 15 damage and do an additional 15 damage again to get that. So if she just got that copy from the level up immediately, she'd be a lot more runnable, and there'd be a lot more interesting combinations you could do with her. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think down in the description down below. If you run this deck, please let me know how it goes. As well as that you make any changes, let me know. I already said I stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays over on Twitch. Link down below. As well as the fact there's a link to the Discord if you want to get in there. Talk about deck craft, talk about thingamajiggies. There is a games night and a movie night. There's also the link to the merch down below if you want to check it out. So, like the t-shirt I'm wearing, the ASOL, screw the rules, I have Celestials, all the things down there. But do not feel forced to make any purchases or anything like that. But thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, why not consider it? But hope you have a great day, with your evening, or whatever it is for you. And until next time, bye!
Flash of brilliance that could save me. Save me! That doesn't save me. Okay. Is there anything from you? Save me. That doesn't save me. Okay. Get rid of this and get rid of this. Find something that can save me.